They say the first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever make in your life. It is not just a saying, it is a mathematical and psychological reality that breaks people. Imagine standing at the bottom of a jagged, endless mountain. You are pushing a massive, perfectly spherical boulder that weighs more than you do. You are straining, sweating, your muscles are screaming, and for every step you take forward, gravity tries to push you 2 steps back. That is what the beginning feels like. It feels less like building a dream and more like a punishment. You look up and see the peak, the glowing goal of financial freedom, but the path in between is obscured by fog and thorns. This is why the statistics are so terrifying. 75% of entrepreneurs and creators will fail. They will never reach that summit. Visualize a wide, colorful road packed with thousands of hopeful people starting their journey. They are excited. They are full of energy. But as the road continues, it narrows. It twists. And suddenly, there are cliffs on both sides. Watch closely, and you will see 3 out of every 4 people simply falling off the edge into the abyss, fading into gray ghosts of what could have been. They didn't fall because they weren't smart. They fell because they didn't understand the terrain. The journey usually starts with a dangerous illusion. In your mind, you see yourself teleporting to the top of the mountain. You see the bags of money, the fame, the success. But reality is a split screen. While you dream of the summit, your daily reality is climbing a broken winding staircase full of snakes and missing steps. The first trap you encounter is the shiny object syndrome. You are walking your path, focused on your goal, when suddenly a swarm of glowing, mechanical butterflies appears. They have dollar signs on their wings. They represent crypto pumps, dropshipping schemes, and get-rich-quick hacks. They look beautiful and easy. You take your eyes off the road to chase them, reaching out with desperate hands, and before you know it, you have wandered off the path and are standing on the edge of a cliff. Distraction is the first killer of progress. You cannot build a skyscraper if you keep changing the blueprint every time you see a new trend. Then comes the financial reality. You think business is about making money, but in the beginning, it is mostly about losing it. Imagine a giant wooden bucket labeled revenue. You are working tirelessly to pump water into this bucket. You are exhausted, pumping and pumping. But you haven't noticed that the bucket is riddled with holes. There are leaks labeled unnecessary subscriptions, bad ad spend, and high churn. The water is pouring out of the bottom faster than you can put it in, forming a useless puddle around your feet. You try to patch the holes with bandages, but the pressure is too high. This is the leaking bucket business model, and it drains your spirit along with your bank account. You sit there staring at a single coin in your palm, while a mountain of red-stamped invoices towers over you. It feels like the walls are closing in. You are drowning in a sea of paperwork and administrative red tape, waving a hand for help, but the ocean of bureaucracy just swallows you whole. As the pressure mounts, you enter the valley of despair. This is not a metaphor. It is a very real place. Your enthusiasm graph, which started so high, crashes down into a deep, dark canyon. You sit at the bottom, a rain cloud hovering over your head, looking up at the distant peak that now seems impossible to reach. This is where the loneliness sets in. You are surrounded by a crowded city of people. Thousands of gray figures moving in one direction, following the safe path. You are the only one in a bubble, walking the opposite way, isolated by your ambition. They don't hear you. They don't understand you. You try to explain your vision, but you are speaking through a tiny tin can telephone in a marketplace filled with giant loudspeakers blasting noise. You are drowned out. You are invisible. To compensate, you try to become a superhero. You think you can do it all. You are balancing on a unicycle, frantically juggling 10 different balls. One ball is sales, another is marketing, another is product development, customer support, accounting, and tech. Your arms are tangled in a knot. Sweat is flying everywhere. You are terrified that if you drop one ball, the whole show ends. But you cannot juggle forever. Eventually, you begin to melt. You are a candle burning at both ends. You are sitting at your desk, working furiously, but your head is a literal wick on fire, and your body is melting into a puddle of wax on the floor. The smoke forms the word burnout. You are running a race, sprinting with everything you have, only to collapse face down inches from the finish line, your internal battery flashing red and empty. This is usually when you start making the fatal mistakes. You stop looking at the road and start looking at the obstacles. You come to a maze, a complex hedge of decisions. Instead of finding a strategy, you put on a blindfold and start walking into walls, hoping for luck. You ignore the data. You are like a pilot flying a plane with the windows painted black, whistling happily while the dashboard screams low fuel and altitude drop. You refuse to listen to the market. You put on giant earmuffs and build a product that no one wants. A machine that butters toast in the most complicated way possible, while a line of angry customers stands there holding simple knives, confused and unimpressed. You are building a car with square wheels. You are pushing it with all your might, your face red with effort, wondering why it won't move. You blame the road. You blame the car. But you never stop to think that maybe, just maybe, you need to round off the edges. The psychological toll is even heavier. You stand on a stage to present your work, looking sharp in a suit, but the shadow you cast on the wall is a tiny, terrified mouse. Imposter syndrome eats you alive. You feel like a fraud waiting to be exposed. You approach the door of opportunity, but it looks like a giant, angry face labeled rejection. You are so small, and the door is so big. You stand there trembling, script in hand, too scared to even knock. You retreat into your shell. You build a suit of armor labeled ego to protect yourself from feedback. The arrows of criticism bounce off you, which feels safe, but the armor is so heavy you can't move forward. You are paralyzed. You see others zooming past you, runners on a track, while you are frozen at the starting line, obsessively polishing a single pebble with a magnifying glass, trapped by perfectionism. You are overthinking while they are executing. And then, there is the trap of comparison. You look at your own small, growing plant and you feel proud. But then you open social media and see someone else standing next to a giant, magical beanstalk that reaches the clouds. You feel inadequate. You feel slow. You don't realize their beanstalk is a filter, an illusion. You try to copy them. You enter a hall of mirrors where every reflection is a distorted version of your original idea, and you lose your identity. You try to be everything to everyone. You stand on a beach with a teaspoon, trying to scoop up the entire ocean, failing to realize you need to dig a deep well, not drain the sea. You spread yourself so thin that you become a ghost. The deepest tragedy, however, happens underground. Imagine a cross-section of the earth. You are digging a tunnel, swinging a pickaxe day after day in the dark. You are tired. You are dirty. You hit rock after rock. Finally, you throw down your axe in defeat and walk away. You quit. But the image reveals the heartbreaking truth. You were only 3 inches away from a massive cavern filled with diamonds and gold. You gave up right before the breakthrough. You swam to the bottom of the deep pool, touched the floor where the key was, and turned around because you ran out of breath. The dipping point is where most dreams die, not because they were impossible, but because the pain of the moment outweighed the promise of the future. You try to pivot, but you do it out of desperation. You are the captain of a sailboat, and you yank the rudder too hard. The boat doesn't turn, it capsizes. You are a basketball player trying to kick the ball in midair. You look foolish. You try to take shortcuts. You scratch lottery tickets labeled viral hack instead of reading the books in the trash can labeled discipline. You are looking for a magic spell to save you. You build a house on the back of a sleeping dragon called the algorithm, and when it wakes up and moves, your entire business slides off the cliff. You realize too late that you built on rented land. You realize that your fancy sports car labeled marketing has no tires because you forgot to build a product that actually works. You are revving the engine, making noise, but going nowhere. But for the few who survive the valley, the fire, and the maze, something shifts. You stop trying to be a hero and start acting like an architect. You look at the hamster wheel you have been running in, sweating and panting, but staying in the same spot, and you step off. You look at the tortoise moving slowly but steadily on the path of progress, and you join him. You realize that busy is not the same as productive. You stop trying to dismantle the golden goose to get all the eggs at once. You nurture it. You realize that you cannot hold up a collapsing building with duct tape and chewing gum. You build a foundation. You stop listening to the yes men in the mirrors and open the door to the critics who help you grow. You embrace the boredom. You see the long, straight staircase labeled consistency and routine. And while others jump off looking for excitement, you start climbing. Step, step, step. It is not glamorous. It is not viral. It is work. You are planting bamboo. For years, you see nothing but bare dirt. People laugh at you. But underground, a massive root system is spreading, preparing to support a structure that will shoot into the sky overnight. You are building the bridge across the canyon. You don't celebrate when it is 99% done because you know that a bridge with a 3-foot gap is useless. You finish the last mile. You pour the concrete. You tighten the bolts. And then you reach the wall, the final barrier, the $100,000 threshold. It stands tall and imposing, made of brick and doubt. You don't look for a door anymore. You pick up a sledgehammer labeled persistence. You swing with everything you have left. The first hit does nothing. The second hit does nothing. But you keep swinging. Cracks appear. Light starts to bleed through. And with one final, primal scream of effort, you smash through the wall. The bricks explode outwards. The light blinds you. You step through the hole, covered in dust, battered and bruised, but standing. This is the moment everything changes. You put your hand on that giant stone wheel you were struggling to push. But now it feels lighter. You give it a nudge, and it spins. The flywheel effect kicks in. Momentum takes over. The math starts working for you, not against you. The wheel spins faster and faster, blurring into a hum of efficiency. You are no longer pushing. You are running alongside it, guiding it. The compounded effort of every small action suddenly pays off all at once. The view changes. You are no longer in the canyon looking up at the clouds. You are on the peak, looking down. You see the winding path below you. You see the monster of burnout, the trap of distraction, the maze of confusion. They look small from up here. You understand now why the journey had to be this hard. It wasn't just to test your business. It was to forge your character. You had to become someone capable of handling the altitude. You breathe in the clear air. But the true victory isn't the gold flag at the summit. The true victory is what you do next. You don't just sit there. You walk to the edge of the cliff, lie down, and reach your hand back into the fog. You grab the hand of the next entrepreneur, the one who's stuck on the ledge, scared and tired, and you pull them up. Because the only thing harder than making the first $100,000 is doing it alone. And now you know the way. The boulder is rolling. The bucket is sealed. The path is clear. You have survived the illusion, escaped the trap, and conquered the mountain. The first $100,000 was a war. The next million, that's just a process.